Okay, the barrel on the right hand side is now completely full, and the one next to it is about 2/3 full. I'm currently stealing some water out of it because I'm going to be watering my pots. And I'm going to actually turn this off in just a sec because I know what's going to happen. It's going to catch up on me and I'm going to overflow, which I don't want to do. I mashed some more of the pots around. I've got some more cleaned up. I have 2 new pots. Now remember, these are planted with 2 different varieties of kohlrabi, and then there's spinach down there. These 2 have been watered, so they're moist enough to plant, and I'm going to plant probably cabbage and broccoli in those 2. Then these 2 have just been moved over this morning. They are bone dry. I did pour water in their saucers, and I can see that that's already sucking down. I'm going to continue the process of watering the ones that have already been planted with my watering can over there. See the pink guy over there? He's my cool watering can. And then these guys have been, these again were pots that had cabbage in them. Not cabbage in, did not have cabbage in them for at least a year. They actually had tomatoes in them, and then I topped probably the top 4 inches are now new soil straight out of a bag. And I'm going to be watering these guys. I probably will not plant these today because I want to get them more moist. I've got these 2 staged for the next step, which will be, these are also where you can tell by the brand, Amanda Orange, which is a type of orange tomato, that these were used for for tomatoes. Yes, no oranges, we can't grow them here. Anyway, so we'll be moving those over at Rufus. What you looking for? He says, I smell a mousey. Yeah, I don't think you'll see a mousey though. I think we mushed all the mousies temporarily. Anyway, but he's having a good time plopping through some row cover back there. Anyway, I'm going to get these set to go, and I'll probably start watering these today too, because it does take a couple of days to get them really up to snuff in terms of being properly watered. And then we'll continue the planting process. I might put in a different variety of spinach. We'll see. I might put in some choy sum, which is a Asian vegetable, which we've had pretty good luck with, except that they tend to attract thrips really bad. But we'll see. Choy sum is not as temperature tolerant as the broccolis and cabbages are, so I'll have to think about that. But it might be a flash in the pan sort of thing where you get a couple of harvests off of it and then it freezes to death. Our coldest weather here is usually in January, but I wouldn't even begin to guess what it's going to do this year because the weather is off a lot of places. So back to mushing things around, and I'll bring you back when I am done. Okay, back again. This one is full. That one is full. So what I have to do on this one now is put a lid on it. And I can choose to put the rings on or not. This one is complete. It doesn't have a crack in it. It had a crack in the middle. You'll notice that one over there is cracked in the middle. But this is about 3/4 of the way done. So I'll be turning that one off soon. Over here I have watered the spinach, kohlrabi, and kohlrabi. I have planted Tiara, which is a cabbage, and Atlantis, which is a broccoli. And I have topped up and watered 4 more buckets, which are currently not planted with anything. They're just trying to absorb moisture. The top 4 inches of these 2 just came out of a brand new container of potting soil. So that was not as dry as the other stuff was, but the stuff underneath is still dry as a bone. So I'm working towards making sure that there's water in the bottoms of these things so that they draw up from the bottom overnight. And yeah, we'll see. I have to decide when I'm going to plant more stuff. I need to go through some more seeds and see what I have. I know I have choy sum. I have all kinds of different cabbages. So I have to think about all that. And I have to get this up to the top. I like to get it just to about right there. But it's always kind of a slightly dangerous maneuver because I have to run outside and turn off the water source and then go shut off the valve from the IBC tote. And I'll probably show you how much is left in the IBC tote too when I get that done. I think we'll have, let's see, this would be about, this is about 120 gallons in these 3 barrels here. So, trying to remember how big that IBC tote is. I think, I don't know. Good question. I'll have to go see what size it is. I don't remember the actual gallons, but it's not empty. So I'll get at least a partial refill out of there again. And then once it is empty, we want to move it down by the studio and improve our water collection system down there so that we can have more water that we're not paying for that we can use in the garden outside. We still will probably not change much in terms of growing in here versus growing in there, but it would be nice to be able to do a few things out there and just maybe not have to spend quite so much money on the flowers in order to get some. So, oh, getting there. It always seems to go way faster when it gets towards the top because the top of the barrel sort of slopes in a little bit. So once it gets to here, I usually run to go and turn it off. I don't have to run real far, but still I have to get out the door without letting the dog out and things like that. So just foolish little annoying things. So, and tripping over the dogs, never a great idea. So yeah, we're almost done. Be back in a couple minutes. Okay, last barrel is full. So we can plop a lid on that. And I've got the valve outside closed. I have buckets under these because they do tend to leak just a smidge. So if they do, I want to collect all the drips. Usually they leak for a day or so after you first fill them up, and then they stop leaking. So okay, so we have this all set. You can suck up that water overnight. I have to get the hose out here. I'll do that when I'm not trying to record. I've started taking apart the pump. I pumped it as dry as I could. And I've already got one hose off. Just need to take this guy off. And then this guy will go in the utility building, which does not freeze. So, let's see. Let's go down to the IBC tote. This is a food safe tote. Got the valve closed on it. Got this open so that it drains out and dries out completely. And it started out with, let's see, that's 300 gallons right there. So about 325. And we are down to, it's 200, that's 175. So you can see we've still got about 100 and, I guess I would say 180 or so, at least 180 gallons. So that's pretty good. That's another full fill up plus a bit more. And yeah, could use a new paint job on the stand, but other than that, it's doing great. So yeah, we want to get this away from the end here and use it. We thought it was going to work out really well here, and it didn't. We did use it briefly to provide water for the swamp cooler, which is an evaporative cooler. Decided it really didn't work all that well. Sort of needed to be pressurized a bit more than it was. So mostly it's just sat here now for several years. So it's time to put it back into service and use it to collect water. We have another one that sits back over here. Let me zoom in a little bit. Zoom. It's next to our other rainwater collection tank over there, and it's the overflow for that. So when I see the tank getting really full, I'll open up the IBC tote and let that fill up. But I'd like to get both of those in use doing something else. We want to be a little bit more proactive this year about actually using our rainwater a little bit more efficiently. We used to do pretty good, and then we kind of slacked off a little, life cutting out in the way. So yeah, time to shut this stuff down and get on with the other projects. I have a bunch of custom projects I'm working on in the studio, and I need to make some good progress today because my goal is to cast at the end of the week. So we'll see about that. So until next time, bye.